question is, could you possibly lose money with this digital internet program and with this YouTube program where we make videos for you, and these videos get monetized and YouTube pays you a drastic amount of money for lots and lots of views? Could you lose money? Is there any way that you can lose money? The answer is absolutely yes. There is nothing in the world you couldn't possibly, maybe, not lose money. There's no such a thing. There's 100% safety. In fact, every single time somebody tells me this is a no-brainer, that's when you have to be careful. Every single time you yourself think this is a 100% way of 100% sure, then the chances of losing money are actually usually higher. You can see it with football teams and other sports people who, this game we win, that's like a laydown. Yeah, right. That's when they very often lose it. So, by the way, and I hope your answer is it worked out all right, but how did it work out being a doctor? Did the dreams of how much money you make with how relative little work you do, in how much time, basically you're 10 years in practice or 40 years now or whatever, how much can your practice be able to be sold for when you retire? Did that work out the way you expected? The reason we're doing this program is because I'm strongly, for 30 years consulting dentists and doctors, have seen that those dreams did not work out, at least not completely. In many cases, extremely far away. In some cases, of course, they did work out, which is wonderful. So, here is something nevertheless. So the first year of investment, which is the investment you make, more or less, let's assume that could get lost right there and then, because it takes about a year for you to start churning the money so that actually what you put in comes back out. Whether you pay all in once or you break it apart in a monthly payment doesn't really make a difference. In about a year, the money on a monthly basis could and should come back. A year later, as I explained in other videos, the money actually should be quite up. So in about a year, you start playing on the house. Here is what I think is wonderful about this compared to many other investments. Let's take real estate and stocks, okay? Whatever money you put in, if it is lost, it's lost. You're never on the hook for more. That's not the truth with real estate and stocks. You put in, you buy a $500,000 house, you put 20% down, it's $100,000, so you have a $400,000 mortgage, and in the next real estate crash, personally I think it will come, which is again why I tell people, go for an exit strategy program. Get yourself an income which is not linked to your work, not linked to a particular product, and not linked to a particular space in place on earth, but has the whole earth, which this internet program does. So, if there's another real estate crash, bang. Last time in 2008, it was about 50% across the country, give or take. Will it be next time less, more? God only knows. I personally think more, but I'd rather be wrong because I also own real estate, right? So it's, we don't want to crash, period. And then you're on the hook for all the 5,000 still, even though your house isn't, 500,000, even though your house isn't worth it. What about stock? In order for you to make $10,000 in the stock market every month, meaning passive income, you would have to have saved up $1.2 million, in order to put it into the stock market. $1.2 million at a 10% annual return, which most people say is fair and good, and very, very acceptable. So 1.2 million, 10% is 120,000, divided by 12 months is 10,000. So what about if that stock market crashes 50 and 80%, like it did in 2008, 50% or whatever, and the next one, people say it will be worse, a lot worse. You are on the hook for much more. Here, you're on the hook for what you put in. I have, however, some good news, okay? And it's a guarantee you kind of need to trust you. So here's the first one. Have a look at where this industry of digital thing is going. We're currently at 10-15% of internet and digital type of selling and activities in terms of money in the country or in the world. And yet it is so huge, you know, already. Will it go to 100%? It's never needed. Imagine it going to 30%. That is a double increase. Unbelievable. And like most of the things, at the beginning they go slow and then they go hockey stick. Same, by the way, down. You know, the beginning, the practice goes down, 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 and then it goes like this, or the stock market or whatever. So, you know, the world has, and let's talk about it. We're now making this video in 2021, very beginning of 2021, and I made similar ones, you know, in 2020. So 2020, 2021. 2020 was a year most of us, all of us actually, I'm 68 years, have never experienced in terms of lockdown, in terms of economical shutdown, in terms of businesses not being able to open, in terms of governments giving stimulus checks and blah, 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 and yet like, wow. This alone should have shown more that anything we have which is has one product or service, one particular location, and on top of it have to be there for it, is dangerous, very dangerous. And because of what happened in 2021 now, more people have gone to the internet than ever before. People who are maybe old like me started buying their first bottle of wine or whatever it may be, ordering from Whole Foods via Amazon to the door, name it, name it, name it, name it. Now you have the younger generation. They more have now been introduced to doing school on the internet. And the younger generation, of course, being born with an iPhone more or less. What do you think the kids who are now 15 years old, in 5 years, will they go more on the internet? Will they watch more YouTube videos? And will Google and YouTube and Facebook, you know, have more of that stuff going on? So on one hand, you can absolutely lose money. Anybody promising you that you never can lose money, this is where I personally would be careful. You can only lose what you put in, not more. You're not on the hook for anything, like in real estate and stock market. So right there, just look at the trend. Look at the trend of the medical field and the private practitioner, where this is going in terms of making money, in terms of being able to sell your practice, and look at the trend of that. And then here I'm promising you something else. Even though the first one, just the possibility, the potential. Keep in mind, they say, you know, we have the right to pursuit of happiness. It's the right to pursue it, not necessarily to get it. We have the right to pursue all kinds of things. There's potentials, not securities, you know. But I'm promising you something, and you still need to trust me on that. It's still not this 100% type of guarantee, or at least from your viewpoint. From my viewpoint, it kind of is. I have been in the dental marketing field or in the medical practice marketing field for 30 years. We're doing pretty damn good, or have been done pretty damn good with getting more new patients. We're not God, we're not thing, but we're pretty good. I will include a marketing program for new patients for you in the amount of what the total program costs. So, should be in 1 year, somehow you believe, or in some reason it's happening, that this whole thing didn't find traction and you didn't yet make your money back, or almost nothing of it back, a little bit only, or whatever. I will have, in about a half a year after you start this program, okay, started a marketing program for you for new patients, if that's what you still need and want. If you don't, this particular part doesn't apply at all to you, and you will just have to go with the first, like, this industry, this whole movement of internet just looks too good to be true, and I got to go and do it. It's there, because not all things which look too good to be true are not true. That's why kids make millions of dollars making YouTube videos, you know, millions a month sometimes. Here we go. So I will get you enough new patient Whether I get them to you by the time the year is over and you're supposed to be running on your own traction, not necessarily made all your money back, but the whole thing is moving in that traction. I will get you enough new patients so that you will not lose money with the product. So let's assume you invest X thousands of dollars. I will get you X thousands of dollars of worth in new patients. You need 20 patients, you need 50 patients in order to make for that. It might not come in the time. Do not ask me to get you the patients before you pay. That's just not good business sense. We won't do that. But I will tell you that in about a half a year, we start getting you new patients, because in a half a year, you won't have made any money. You know, for about a year, you won't even kind of like, your money is out. And then it starts kind of like slowly coming back, relatively slowly over the next 1 year, and nicely in that time. I will start around a half a year into the program, start making you new patients. And maybe by the end of the year, you have already completely made the money back, maybe not. And maybe we need to work a little longer. We had this type of guarantees for our clients all the time. We said we double or triple the practice. This is how much it costs. It probably takes a year, but if it takes us 2 or 3 years or whatever it may take, we will work that long till you get it. Has worked well for us. Getting you those very, very few new patients in order to pay for this YouTube program is not doubling or tripling the practice. It is so much less. It's so much easier for us. We can do, we will do it. You still have to trust it. So in the end, my guarantee is if this YouTube program, this internet digital program doesn't work, I'll get you enough patients so that you will recover the money you put in. That's my personal promise. I hope you like it.